All right, I am live. Hello, everyone. I'm going to sit here and generate some real estate leads. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, still leave me any kind of questions or comments. I really do appreciate them. Thank you so much for all those who comment. I do get back to you. And if you'll notice, I end up writing this massive paragraph because I'm very passionate about this. And I know how nerve-wracking yet exciting it can be to be making cold calls. I had a really good session yesterday, and so many of you tuned in. And it was really nice for you guys to actually see live as I was doing it, getting these leads. And I got two yesterday. You guys got to see one of it when I got one of them. It was a really good lead. So let's see who else I can find today. I use Mojo Dialer. I pay for their 3-line dialer, but I only use 2 lines. And I do 5 rings, if that makes sense at all. Well, if you're familiar with Mojo, that will make sense too, because it's just like selections as you go through it. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my dialer. It is Saturday at 4:15 today. It doesn't really matter what time you call when you're circle prospecting, which is a big reason why I like to circle prospect, because I can just do it at my own time. I was supposed to be on here a little while ago, but I actually had another seller message me and she wants me to come over and lease her unit. And that'll be the 3rd one I do this year. I don't really like to do leases.
That was not a valid entry. Using your touchtone phone.
Why isn't it taking it?
Number. You are now logged
there we
into
go.
the Mojo Dialer.
The only reason I'm doing it is because it's 2 blocks away from me. Hey, Daryl. Yes, Tuesday through Saturday. Got to make my calls. Glad to see you back in the saddle again. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in again. So I'm just starting my dialer, have barely 57 seconds, and I'm going to sit here and get some leads. And that's just what I do. I mean, this is just how I do my business, and I'm so happy. I keep telling myself, I'm like, if I'm not sitting here making cold calls for myself, I would probably be at a call center or just working at a retail store or like working for someone else. Instead, I sit here, I come to work. This is my job. I sit here and I come to work for myself and for my family to provide, and it's my business, and I do it on my own schedule. So I already had a great day with the family. I was actually at the mall with my daughter earlier, and then I was doing work here and there. I'm like, I got to make my calls. So here I am. This is it. Let's see how many. I actually realized I am like 30 calls short for the week. So I really have to sit here. I don't know. I might sit here for like an hour and 30 minutes. I would like to sit here for 2 hours. If I had probably called earlier, I could have made up for my calls, but we'll see. I just have to make sure at the end of the month I'm at 300. So gotta kind of kick it up into gear. I've been super slammed. Let's see. Answer. I should be getting a lot of pickups. It's Saturday. Fridays and Saturdays are really good pickup days. I'm going to get my 3rd lease listing for the year, and we're going to list it at $2,200 a month. So if I get the tenant, I get the full $2,200, and then the rest are all for sale properties. But I did do one that was 3,000, and I got the 3,000. Like the tenant just came directly to me. So I consider those listings because technically they're lease listing agreements. I don't want to do them, but when I'm circle prospecting like this, sometimes people are like, "Oh, can you just go ahead and lease it instead?" I'm like, okay. But especially if they're close by. How annoying are finding tenants? I don't have to find them. They just come to me. They just call me. It's actually quite easy. And they lease right away too. It's almost within like less than 2 weeks. And I just show them the property. I have them fill out like a background, criminal, credit, all this like background stuff. I have my own separate background thing, Forewarn, great for realtors. Highly recommend to get Forewarn as a realtor. It's like $20 a month unless your association already includes it. So the state of Florida includes it for all realtors. Before that, I used to pay for $20 a month. But they just call and it's so easy and they're like, okay, I want it. I'm like, okay. So no, it's not annoying at all. They're super, super easy to do. Do, 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 do. Come on, somebody pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. I really do. I have to say, I really do like showing you how this happens because I feel like on social media, people fake it and edit. Like, I got 3 listings in 15 or 3 leads in 15 minutes. And I'm like, did it take you 3 hours? Like, you're really not telling the truth. Let's see. Are you using, I'm doing the double line dialer today. I was thinking maybe of doing the triple line, but I'm noticing on my dialer, it's going to people's voicemails. It's going through quick. So maybe I could up it. This person's getting a call back. Calling, if you ever look at your Mojo dialer and it says calling back, especially when you're doing 2 lines or 3 lines, is because that person might have picked up, they couldn't hear you and they hung up. Or of course they didn't hear you because you're on the other line. So if they answer, then I go, hey, can you hear me now? That's basically what I do. I say, can you hear me now? And a lot of times they'll go, yeah, I can hear you now. I'm like, oh, that's so weird. Sorry. Hey, you're going to hate me. I'm a realtor. So that's what happens. Oh yeah, I really appreciate showing the real deal. Right? I'm so sick and tired of all the fakeness out there. Like, there are some realtors I see on social media posting like, I did this, I did that. Let me show you how much you can make, blah, blah, blah. And then I just Google them and their production, they sold like 1 house in 2 years. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I've seen the edited ones and it started to make me nervous if I'm expecting to get 5 leads a day. Yeah. Don't even sweat it. I've seen that. Yeah, you're not going to be getting 5 leads a day. If you get 0 a day, 1 a day, 2 a day, you're good. That's normal. If you want more, you're going to have to call more. I know some agents, especially at the beginning, they will call for like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, just because they want to fail fast. They want to get through the calls. They want to get the reps in. They want to get the experience. And I get it. And that's great. I would just advise, take it easy on the Mojo line dialer because you want to have it build rapport. So I would say just do like an hour a day for the first month. I know it's going to be painstaking because you just want to dial away, but you're going to ruin your number and it's going to be marked spam. So just ease into it. But more importantly, it's all in the consistency because you'll get used to it. You'll get used to like, I got to sit at the desk. I got to make the calls little by little, and then you can expand your hours. So you can end up getting more leads if you spend more time. But for me, especially once you get busy, you're busy servicing, you're busy showing, you're busy going on photo shoots, inspections, negotiating a lot. Daryl says, plus I like your style of just asking instead of trying to pressure people into selling. 100%. You have to ask. You'd be surprised when I ask people like, oh, I just wanted to ask, can you please close the door, honey? I'm live. I think the dog came in. Oh yeah, she's back there. Yes, asking. So like if I ask someone, can I ask you a question? And they go, well, who is this? I kind of start over. Oh, again, my name's Adela. I'm a realtor. I wanted to ask you a question. Is that okay? And then sometimes they won't even answer me. I'm like, kind of force it until they give me permission. in a way. So if they're like, and I'm like, it's okay. I don't have to ask you the question. Like you can hang up or, is it okay? Can I ask you a question? Until they say, yeah, go ahead, or yes, it's okay, or what's your question? Then I will ask my question. And it's really funny because I get all these people who still cold call me. And oh my God, they like jam their sales pitch like so hard I just hang up. I'm like, bro, you just ran right over me. And I can't even imagine doing that to somebody that I'm cold calling. So yeah, and it has to do with tonality. Like just be chill. I think the biggest mistake a lot of newer agents do is they get a lot of nerves and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety running through their body that their voice gets shaky and they get all hyper and they get all like, it's kind of like a bunny rabbit or like jackrabbit freaking out. Like, hi, sir, I was just hoping to ask you a question. I'm a realtor. And you just sound so robotic because you're just so nervous about it all. And you'll only get comfortable with time. I remember listening to the UK's most hated salesman or something. He's on YouTube, Benjamin. What's his last name? Benjamin something. And he'd said when he was doing calls, the more miserable and sad he was, I don't know about sad, maybe more miserable, the better his calls were. So maybe if it's a time where you're just like tired, or like, I don't know, maybe just slouching in your chair, that'll help your tone to get you more comfortable and relaxed so you're not freaking people out when you speak to them on the phone. What is the best schedule to cold call? Well, because I do circle prospect, I do it on my own time and my own schedule. I like to call between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. in the mornings, just because that gives me a chance to wake up at 6:30, take my kids to school, come back, go for my workout, shower, get ready, have some breakfast, and then by 10 be ready. And then I make calls from like 10 to 12 if I can. And if not, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is a really great pickup call time for me. And then by then I've also responded to emails, called my clients back, or customers, I should say, called customers back, like just taking care of business. And if I don't have anything else to do, like I'm on the phone from 2 to 4. Because I've been so busy lately, I've been calling more in the evening from 4 to 6. That still works. I just don't like to call after 6 because I'm doing dinner by then. But anytime for the most part, I would say maybe from 12 to 1 is the worst because I think people are at lunch and they're not really answering. And you'd be surprised how many people answer their phone when they're at work. It's funny. It's like you think they would answer when they're at lunch. You think they would pick up during their lunch, but that's like the time when they're out socializing and eating. But then when they're at work, they'll pick up their phone. It's the weirdest thing ever. That's what I'm afraid of. I'll be like, when I start prospecting, LOL, it happens. It totally happens. I don't know if you heard that. She kind of chuckled. That's why I kind of laughed. All right, next. Let's see. Yeah, Daryl, it's okay. I sometimes feel like it's the excitement that gets to you, and I've noticed it in some people because I trained 5 different ISAs, which are called inside sales agents, and it just doesn't work. Honestly, just making the calls yourself, being the lead generator is on. I think it's like $15 for a pack of 50, I think. And you just stick your business card, and you'd be surprised how many people's houses I go to, and this is on their refrigerator. So I'd highly recommend. So I will send him my business card. All right, moving on. That was a contact. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to answer Daryl's question. Sorry. Do you do a lot of tours? Oh, right. So some states are primarily lock boxes. Here in South Florida, especially when they're more expensive, people will do showings. Like it's kind of 50-50. Like some of the agents do showings, some of the agents do lock boxes. I pride myself in showings because I realized that a lot of the buyer agents are terrible. Kind of end up talking the buyer into buying the house. Like I make it a whole show, like, oh, look at this. Like I answer their questions because obviously the buyer agent doesn't even know the answers, like the age of the roof, the age of the AC, the water heater. And I'm able to, like, the homeowner just put in new flooring, like the windows were just installed 8 months ago, the roof is blah, 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 like a cement tile. And I can actually talk about the details. So I like to show. It makes it super easy. And sometimes I think that's also why my days on markets are a lot shorter than compared to other agents. So I like showing, but that's also why I circle prospect I circle prospect around my city and neighborhood. So that way, wherever I have to be is less than 10 minutes. So I do my showings, and on, this is my second channel, my main channel, which is to attract buyers and sellers, and just to have a online presence. I do walk through video tours of my listings. Full send said, Adela, can you please cut that whole beginning part out of your pitch and just jump to, are you guys looking to sell? No, I've tried it. 0 leads, day after day after day. My actual whole beginning is to break the ice, have them drop their guard, have them laugh, make them at ease, and it really makes the whole conversation flow. Believe me, I have done it. I think I did it for like 2 weeks and I had 0 leads, and somebody else in my inner circle also did it. Actually, 2 of them had done it at different points in time in their cold calling career, and they told me the same thing. They're like, you have to say something before asking them, and it just completely changes the conversation. So that's actually a very, very good point you make. So you can try it for yourself if you want. I've been there, done that, and that's when I like have 0 leads. Daryl, I also really appreciate someone else being super dedicated to their career. Listen, I am in this for the long haul. Like, this is my long time career. So yes, I mean, I think that's another thing. If you're going to get in real estate, don't think you're going to try it for a year or 2 and see if it works out. I was like, it has to work out. I have to figure it out. There's no going back. I'm not getting a corporate job. Being in corporate America, I was like, I was done. I was so done. I was like, no. Like it felt so assuring seeing someone else up at 12 a.m. trying to get work done. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, did you see that video of mine where I was up till like 4 a.m. working? I think it was like 4:15 or something. I finally went to bed, and I had gotten up at 5:30 that same day. So I was up for 23 hours working. That was last week. I think that video was from last Friday, not yesterday, but last Friday. So that was, and my days have kind of been, they haven't been that extreme, but yeah, like there's days I stay up till 10, 11:30 at night just working because I do everything. I do my own YouTube videos. I do my own editing. I do my virtual stage emails. I do my website. I do my cold calls. I do my follow-ups. I do my emails. Like I just do everything. Like, yeah, I could pay someone, but I have paid someone. I used to pay people to do my website, and the turnaround was a joke. They would take forever. And so now I'm more in control of it and faster with it. And I now use my website as a tool for sellers, and they are floored. They absolutely love it. LOL. Yes. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you guys watching, but I just want to show you how simple it is. It's simple. It's easy. Just make people laugh, have conversations. Even that guy who's not thinking about selling, I'll send him my business card, and he thought I was hilarious. He's like giving me a compliment over my, I don't know, sorry, I'm a little distracted with the mojo going on right now. I never thought about, Daryl said, I never thought about that. I think most of the listings here do the lockbox method for the buyer's agent. Yeah, they do. And you can try doing showings on your own. And I mean, no matter what price point, I will always do a showing in person, even if it's like, I remember I had a tiny little condo for $165,000, and I did the showings in person, and I think it was just one showing. It was one showing. The buyer was there, the buyer's agent was there, and we went through it, and she was like, okay, great. Like, I want to buy it. And we just put it under contract. And then I have one 2 blocks away from me. We put it up for 400,000. But I like it because everything's near me. So I'm like, what's the big deal? It's just gonna take me, I don't know, 30 minutes out of my time, but I'd rather go and just get it done and get it sold and like impress the buyer. And I kind of found this out because when I was with my boutique broker, it was just him and me, and he made me in charge of showings for those who had showings. He had some properties on lockbox, and then some where the seller wanted an agent to be there to show, and I was that person. And then he told me, he's like, God, Adela, all my properties are going under contract. What is it that you're doing and saying? And I said, I don't know. I'm just like presenting the house as I know it to be. Like, let me show you the lighting. Look at the pool. It changes colors. Like, this is the poinsettia, the landscaping. Here's a water heater. Oh, the pool is a salt, all these features. And so that's when I also kind of knew. I was like, I think I would be great as a listing agent because I'm already selling his listings. So maybe you can try it when you get listings, just to be like, I'll be here for showings. Yeah, but I mean, huge part is you got to make sure they're priced right. But more importantly, like when you can tell a buyer and answer all their questions and they're just like wowed by the property more than like they can actually see, they end up buying it. So yeah, that's also why I think I have so many under contract right now. Let's see. Yeah, I saw you pull an all-nighter and I was astonished by your hustle, and it was really inspiring. Oh, thank you so much. That actually meant a lot. That was a hard one, and I remember, it was like a little traumatizing. Okay, perfect example. That was apparently some kind of expired or canceled. When you circle prospect, you trip and fall and stumble upon FSBOs, expired, canceled, people who are thinking about selling. So I feel like when you do it like that, you're just going to cover everyone. So that's also why I just decided like it's pointless calling just FSBOs and expireds, because I'm going to call them naturally. And more importantly, I'm pinpointing the neighborhood. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well just call the neighborhood, and the canceled and expireds are there. Cool. I'll call them anyway. I'll hit them up. And sometimes those are the angry ones, like, stop calling me. And I'm like, excuse me? They're like, everybody's calling me. I'm like, who? All you realtors, you're all the same, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm calling your neighborhood. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, did you have your house for sale or something? And then they're like, wait, what? You're calling the whole neighborhood? I'm like, yeah. Like, what do you mean people are calling you? Did you have your house for sale? And they'll be like, yeah, I did. I go, oh, that's why you're targeted by all these realtors. It's so funny. And then their guard goes down and they end up talking to me. I haven't converted them, but it's just funny, the attitude. You can almost tell who they are. Thank you for watching that one, Daryl. I have to say, if any of you haven't seen that one, I think that was the one that just came out this past Monday. It's my most recent day in the life. It was like on the 10th, March 10th. Because I had recorded that one from last Friday or something. I don't even know. I'm losing track of days. I've been so crazy busy. So thank you, Daryl. I really like your vocabulary when you point out details about the house you're showing on the walkthrough. Thank you. And that's kind of through experience. Yes, that I have learned over the years and asking homeowners, like when you go to a person's home, you want to ask them, oh, is this ceramic tile? Is this porcelain tile? Is this luxury vinyl plank, also known as LVP? Noticing the type, knowing the type of roofs that are in your area, whether it's shingles, cement tile, like is it S tile? Is it barrel tile? Is it flat tile? Maybe even if you want to get some experience, I'd recommend going to open houses if they have them in your area and just ask the agent that's there, like start noticing the materials. Like for my area, it's like, oh, hurricane impact windows, French doors, like crown molding, and then like modern baseboards. Like just start getting familiar with the vocabulary. Go to open houses. I did that at the beginning. Where every weekend for 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday, I would like jot down the open houses in my neighborhood or anywhere I wanted to go. And I would just like get familiar and I would ask the agent. So I'd recommend to do that. She was like whispering. I'm sorry, but my voice, I talk so much. But between cold calling and clients, I need a Ricola. So bear with me. Okay. That is 8 conversations in 48 minutes. Getting to 10 is fantastic because then that just means I would have to dial for 2 hours to get to 20, and that's the goal. When I'm with my parents, when looking for houses, the agents would literally just unlock the door and stand in the living room the entire time. Wait, like the listing agent or the buyer agent? If it's the buyer agent, I understand because it's not their house and they don't even know what to do or tell you, which is really weird. If anything, they should be looking around so they know like what it is you liked about the house. But if it's a listing agent, you definitely want to show them around and everything. Maybe it was a buyer agent you're referring to. Though it's funny because sometimes I'll give you a couple variations. There are some people who just answer and they go like this. And then you can hear them breathing. And it's those people that I just hang up on. I'm like, dude, you're being weird. Like you're a weirdo who answers their phone. Oh, and I hang up on people who go like this. Watch, ready? Hello. Or they'll go, yeah, what do you want? I'm like, what the hell? Do you really actually answer your phone like that to everyone? And so those people I just hang up on. I'm like, ugh, you have an attitude. You're having a bad day already, sir. It was the buyer agent. I think my mom knew more about the house than the agent. Yeah, unfortunately, sounds about right. That's also why I decided to become a listing agent, because I feel like the value of if someone's talking really fast, you got to talk really fast. It's called mirroring and matching. If they say hey, you say hey. They say good morning, you say good morning. They say hello, you say hello. If they're really soft spoken and whispering, I swear you probably have already seen me do this. I will whisper. It's just you got to match. I actually did have a lady once call me out on it because she was whispering because she was at work, and she was like, why are you whispering? I was like, oh, I didn't know if you could hear me. I just try to like match the energy, I guess. That's something I learned from this Australian guy on YouTube. His name is Vin. He wears glasses. He talks a lot about a communication, pausing, pacing your words. I guess the term is called cadence. So in terms of like cold calling, there's a lot of things to just learn in general regarding communication. So yeah, I kind of learned that from him. Oh yeah, Daryl's comment. I was going to say buyer agents. It's also why I decided to be a listing agent, because I feel like the value to the public or the consumer is that buyer agents aren't necessarily that valuable. And after the whole lawsuit happened, that got settled last August, it's just gotten a lot harder to be a successful buyer's agent. But that's also why I switched to listing agent, because I knew it was coming. And the beautiful part about it is, as a listing agent, you have a higher likelihood of getting paid, and you're not running around with a buyer. And some buyers will just come directly to you and you'll just get paid more, higher compensation. So it's been, I couldn't do it any other way. I like being a listing agent. All right, 9 contacts in 55 minutes. Do you think prospecting for a different county is a bad idea? My dad lives near Nashville, but that's like 45. I'm curious why you would want to prospect in a different county. Do you not want to call in your own county or your own neighborhood? I'd highly recommend starting close. And you'd be surprised. You might think, oh, people are going to know who I am. No, they don't know. They don't know who you are. That was my biggest, like, oh my God, how embarrassing. People who know me are going to know I'm cold calling them. And no, they didn't. Even people who knew, they're not going to know. Like, just call your neighbors. And don't tell them you're the neighbor. Don't tell people you're a neighbor. They don't care. They don't care. They're just wondering why the hell you're cold calling them. I've done that mistake too. I'm like, hey, I'm your neighbor realtor. I remember some lady yelling at me, well, if you're my neighbor, you should know you shouldn't be cold calling. I was like, whatever. So yeah, just cold call your area. I say make it convenient. Like, the more hyper local you are, the more successful you'll be, because then you'll have a what do you call it? Reputation. You'll have a reputation from all the neighbors because they'll see all your signs, and then you'll have people calling, not having to deal with a wholesaler because they just insert themselves in the middle. I'm like, I could just get my seller more money, and I do, and I have. Juan, I don't know who that is. I'll stick to just Clarksville primarily at the beginning. Yes. I would definitely say stick to your area. How many people are in Clarksville? Or population, I should say. I would like to know that. I mean, there's 100,000 supposedly here in my city. The population here is about, oh, you're solid. Daryl, just call your city. You're going to be golden. That's more than enough people you'll ever be able to call in like 5 years. Even if you called everyone one time, you could take over that city. I would say focus on your city. Do what I mentioned. Go to neighborhood search on Mojo and just get names and numbers of neighborhoods and organize it by neighborhoods, and just call that neighborhood. And you'll just call through neighborhood, week after week, month after month, year after year. You'll be fine. That is a lot of people. I'm also near Fort Campbell, which might also help prospect military clients from around the country. I mean, if you already have so many people in Clarksville, I would say just do that. I don't know how far Fort Campbell is to you, but for me, I just specifically call, like, let me load up my dialer again. Yeah, I mean, I primarily do Fort Lauderdale, right? But because I have some existing business in Pompano, and that I'm taking over a building in Pompano, I still call. Pompano is really only 20 minutes from me max. But I started really circle prospecting around me where I'm like 10 minutes away, which is great because if I have to do a showing, I just pop on over. It's not a big deal. But I don't know how far Fort Campbell is from you. So it's up to you, I guess, if you want to attack that one. Maybe it'll be a niche for military. The only thing I would say is if you're going to do military, you really got to get familiar with VA loans and assuming VA loans, and also realizing that sometimes military people will just move to a certain city and maybe not have that much equity, and then maybe not be able to sell because then they'll be upside down on their mortgage. So just play with it, see how it works for you, what you want to do. Let me go ahead and just load up my dialer, guys, real quick. I already called through 100 people. I call about 100 at a time. All right, here we go. Select, start power dialer, start dialing. Okay. It's dialing again. All right, so I am at 12 contacts. Actually, I think I might have accidentally put contact for somebody who wasn't. So I'm going to call it 11 contacts. And then I have that one guy I'm going to send him my business card, but I don't really have a lead yet. Daryl was watching when I got that really good lead yesterday. It was a divorced lady. Do you remember that one, Daryl? She was like, yes, I do want to sell. I mean, this is what I do. This is how I ended up making 101,000 GCI last year. And I've already passed that for this year. So, yeah, thanks, Daryl. She did, right? You saw that. You heard that. She did seem very motivated and happy. And she was like so happy. Oh, that's so funny, Sally. Not the happiest woman I've heard on the phone during the divorce. Do you remember? I think I had told her, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She goes, I'm not. And she was laughing and she was happy. And then I had asked her if she had a realtor. She was like, no, we don't. In fact, what's going to happen with her is I think her husband is going to try and buy it. So she asked me to follow up in case he doesn't end up buying it. She wants to sell it. And it's always, you'd be surprised when it comes to divorce, it's best that they always have a realtor that neither of them know. That's almost the best scenario, like a total stranger, for the divorce to actually end up working out. So yeah, and it was funny. I did ask her because I send my handwritten note cards. I asked her to send it. She's like, no, don't send it because he's there. I don't live there anymore. She goes, but make sure to text me your information. And I did. So I always text people my information. Do you send those handwritten note cards the same day you get the lead? I try to, if anything, the next day, but I do. And I have a little action plan I created for myself on Mojo. There's a little video that they show you when you have Mojo how to create an action plan. And my action plan consists of text messaging them my contact information, me manually entering their information to my phone, which most people would say you should automate that. But because I only get 25 leads in a month, it's not that big of a deal for me to just manually enter someone's information, especially if you have one lead. Like, come on, you can enter one person in your phone. So that I do that. And then the third step is to send off the handwritten note card. So it's just kind of me ticking off a little check mark. So once I do that, I send it off. And then it takes a few days for them to receive it. And then like the following week or so, I'll just send them a text following up. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes they will respond before you do. Like, hey, I got your handwritten note card. You'll become more memorable. So yeah, I try and send it out same day, if anything, for sure the next day. And usually I do it next day. Or if I do it next day, it's because I go on my morning walks. And I always walk by the post office box. So I always just like carry them with me and I just drop them off. So it's super easy for me. It would be really cool to see how you do appointments showing your services to potential clients. Not sure how though. Yeah, let me think about this because I can't show it. And I don't even have, it's going to sound crazy, but I don't even have a presentation anymore. I don't have a listing presentation. I don't even sit down with sellers anymore. I don't go over my marketing that agents do, like hire me. It's just so much more relaxed. And it's to the point where people are just calling. But I think because I know the people for so long and I nurture them and I build up a relationship with them, that they don't even expect to see a presentation, especially when they see my website. You see my photography, my video, my descriptions, my everything, and you see all my listings and my pendings. So they don't even like question, like, how long is it going to take for you to sell my house, this, that, whatever. When I meet with someone, they just kind of ask me like, hey, Adela, what should we price the house at? Because I've also been keeping them up to date on the market and what's going on around them during the nurturing process, that I already have a pulse on the market and they already know what units or houses are already selling for. So they're already educated. So when it comes time to listing, it's literally more of me coming over and then just signing the paperwork and then just picking out the price. And then I just explain like, okay, I'm going to schedule out my photographer, give me a key. So it's very different. It's super easy, super relaxed, super nonchalant. Yeah, so I don't even really, even for a listing appointment, I don't really have a presentation or like hire me now. It's just more like, and it's funny because some of them I just tell them like, oh, I'll just bring the paperwork later. And they're like, okay, just because we know each other for so long. Oh, that's surprising. So your clients trust you from your past. They don't even really ask me. It's just part of my, like, I just send them my YouTube channel and my website, homes for sale, and you can see it. And I started that when I had buyers. YouTube channel is where it really gets people. They're like, wow, it's so amazing the way you describe a property. You really know the property. And I kind of also started that YouTube channel. But I just sent them my YouTube channel. I just sent them my website. And they never even asked me about like my sales. Yeah, I don't know if that was helpful. Yeah, they just don't question me. You know what? Sorry, let me say this to Daryl because he's here often and he's new, and I appreciate you watching and tuning in all the time, and you have really good questions. I will say it's not just past listing experience, especially if you're new. I would just say if you say something and you do it, it means a lot. So if you say, I'm going to send a handwritten note card and you send it and then you follow up with them and say, did you get my handwritten note card? That alone speaks volume. Criminal Intent says, how many contracts did you get in the last year? And how many did you sell as the realtor? Are you doing it alone or either partners that sell it and you only cold call? It's just me. I'm by myself. My husband is licensed. He primarily got it licensed to help me when I'm in a jam. So if I have like two showings at the same time, he can go to one, but he's not full-time like me. So I'm doing the lead generating, I'm doing the appointments, I'm getting the listings, I'm there for the photography and the inspections. I'm training him and showing him the way for photography and inspections. I'm still doing all of that, and I'm doing all the negotiations, and I'm doing all the paperwork, and I'm doing all my marketing, and I'm running 2 YouTube channels, and I'm a wife, and I'm a mother, and a homeowner, and I have 2 dogs. So hence I do it all. But let me get back to that first part you said. So how many contracts did you get in the last year? So technically I had 10 transactions last year. I did 101 GCI total to be exact. I want to say out of those 10, 2 were leases, but those leases were expensive. One was like 6,000 and another one was, what was the other one? There was another one. Oh yeah, the other one was $2,700. But I did have another one in July where I took the buyer also, and I got a really nice fat commission check from that too. And I had another really big sale, but all in all, it was 10 transactions. That's how I got to 101 GCI. And then this year, what did I count? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 pending. Oh, that's right. Cause I just had two closings. I should have one closing next week again, but 5 pending and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should get 7 actually. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are on the market. Do I have more? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are currently on the market. One's coming on Monday and the other one's coming next week. And then I have an appointment tomorrow with another home. I have another appointment. She just called me before I went live. She wants me to come over tomorrow, and I have another appointment on Monday. Hence why I'm losing track. It's a lot. And I actually have a appointment or session with my mentor tomorrow because he's been dealing with family things. So I'm meeting with him tomorrow because I told him, I said, I'm drowning. It's so many contracts at this point in time that I'm already going to be past what I made last year by the end of this month. So in 3 months, I did more than I did last year. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I love watching the market on Zillow and already tell my family how areas have been. It's almost addicting. That's Zillow and just the market in general. Right on the top right corner, whatever, what you think that house will actually sell for, and then do it every week. And then over time, look back and see which houses have sold for what price and see if you were close. That will give you a good indication of at least being able to recommend prices and knowing what prices house should sell for when you become a listing agent. So I did that for 3 months. And I think that's what actually really helped me be a really good, explain the value to homeowners as well as being able to price properties the right way. So I challenge you to do that, but definitely going in person. And then looking on Zillow and seeing how things are moving. But in person is huge. I don't know if they do open houses in your area. They do them here, not all the time, but when they do, I take advantage. I've been super busy, so I haven't gone to any lately, but I really want to get back into going to the open houses. Yes, thank you. I'm fine. You know what? Thank you, Daryl, because I will say, finally on fire. Like, no joke, guys, 2022 was when all my buyers decided to not buy, and it was the worst period ever. I made $15,000 that year, 15. I think as the first brokerage I left, that boutique brokerage, that small brokerage, he ended up keeping half the money. All right, 16 contacts in an hour and a half. That's pretty good. I need to get to 20. Daryl says, great exercise. Will do it. It has to do with going to open houses and tracking to see what they actually ended up selling for. See if you can kind of guess what they'll sell for. Let's see here. Official lead. 17 contacts. It took me an hour and 30 minutes. I know, Daryl, I think you asked me yesterday, 1 out of 10, but sometimes it can be more. So in this case, 1 out of 17. The wine gave you a lead. I'll tell him. I didn't think about that. That was funny. Perfect timing. First lead of the day. Yes. So I literally just started calling. I did not call earlier today. I was servicing. I still have to service. I have like 2 missed calls from current clients I have. All about consistency. So as long as you're consistent, you can end up getting, anywhere from 0 to 2 leads a day. Getting 2 leads in a day is the best.